Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. This is where I take a deep dive into a particular company, a particular creator, a particular product, and I go seriously in depth. And I let you know everything about a product. I let you know whether it's good, I let you know whether it's not good, and we cover absolutely everything. And today I'm going to be talking about the trick that has probably had more hype attached to it since the Quantum deck, and that is Lux by Lloyd Barnes. Now, this has been teased for weeks. For the last several weeks, people have been talking about, well, first of all, nobody knew the name, and it was just a lot of cryptic posts on the Instagram page of Murphy's. Lloyd was putting cryptic posts on Facebook and onto his own sort of YouTube channel. There was a Facebook group set up that nobody had a clue what it was about. Every week on the Magic Podcast, I've been grilling him about it. Now is the time that everybody gets to find out what Lux is. Now, I will be completely honest with you. I consider Lloyd to be one of my best friends in the whole world. I love that guy to bits. I really do. It is very hard to be not biased when I'm talking about Lloyd Barnes. However, I've been very close to Lloyd while he's worked through this project. So with that in mind, I know about Lux. I was probably the first person to be given a Lux. I've had Lux for months and months and months. I was the person who shot the footage in smoke and mirrors on my phone of Jordan, which was the footage that was included in the trailer. So I've seen and been around Lux for, oh my God, probably the last year. I know that Lloyd has been working on this for a long time. And anybody who listens to the Magic Podcast will know that I have been openly telling people who listen that this is Lloyd's legacy item. I think this is one of the most exciting releases to come out in the last 10 years. And I'm not saying that because Lloyd is a friend. I am saying that because I genuinely am so excited about this product coming out. And I want to tell you everything about it. There's been a lot of hype and there's been a lot of interest. And I have to be honest with you, I think this is one of those tricks that lives up to the hype. Now, I'm going to start off this whole thing by doing an interview with Lloyd. I sat down with Lloyd for 15 minutes and we had a chat about what Lux was and what it is. And I grilled him about everything. I asked him about what it is, what it does, if there's any potential negatives. I asked him all of these questions. So I'm going to run this interview with Lloyd first of all, so you can actually listen to what Lloyd's got to say himself about Lux. And he's very open in this interview as to what it is. He's very open in the interview as to what it is and what it does. And I think that's important, that you guys know exactly what it is that you're buying if you get into this, right? So listen to the interview with Lloyd. I'm then going to come back into the studio and I'm going to give it a full review. So I am here with the legend himself, Lloyd Barnes, the wonder kid of Murphy's. How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm doing very good, man. How the devil are you?
I'm finally excited that I can talk about Lux and we can be more open and honest with it after weeks and weeks and weeks of hype. It's the hardest secret I've ever had to keep. I was
Same.
I mean, I was one of the first people that saw this, and as soon as you showed it me, I was like, that's just a game changer. And I've been telling everybody who listens that Lux is probably the best thing that you'll ever create, and it's your legacy item. And I really do believe that. I mean, this is one of those rare tricks that lives up to the hype and then some.
I struggle so hard with it, with compliments, but thank you very much. If there's ever one trick that I'll be hopefully known for, I would say this. So I'm really proud of it. Really proud of it.
Now, there's been a lot of hype. There's been a lot of, you've had very, it's almost been a little game that you've been playing over the last few weeks, and you've been dropping clues and telling people to look in the sky and a whole bunch of different stuff. And some people have figured it out and some people haven't. But obviously, this is going up on Sunday. The trailer dropped on Friday. It's now available for pre-sale. I would like to cut through the bullshit to a certain extent.
Let's do it.
Through the games and just talk about what Lux is and why everyone should buy it.
Yes, there it is.
So there it is. I mean, so we see right there, inside that box, there is a UV ink pen, and there is what looks like a little UV torch, right?
Yes.
So talk me through exactly what Lux is.
So Lux is, I mean, you know, if anyone hasn't seen the trailer, go watch it. But essentially, Lux is a UV pen light designed to look not too cheap, right? Because it's just a base one, but we went through tons of iterations to make it look normal, because UV pen lights are a normalish thing. They're not, people don't look at them and go, oh, what the fuck is that? People know what a UV pen light is, but very specifically designed to just look basic. And under the radar, it's built like a Tesla. What it does is it gives you the ability to make two main things: either make UV ink slowly and visually vanish or appear, or it gives you the ability to choose when to have UV ink be in view. So what that in short allows you to do is two types of magic. You can either do powerful visual magic, or you can do incredible mentalism with it. So with a powerful visual magic, and we'll go into the more finer details in a bit, but this can be operated by the spectator. So there's 6 different modes, meaning that one of the effects is like a double cross style effect, where you give the spectator the pen and the light. They can draw a UV cross on themselves, they can shine the light on themselves, and they'll see that UV cross visually vanish off their skin. And then they can point it at you, and this routine was designed specifically for COVID. They can point it at you, and they can have that cross visually reappear. Now you can go off and set up different ways to do it to make it reappear on other people. There's a bunch of different things. So that's one of the things you can do. You can do visual ambitious cards with it, so they sign the card on the back. You can talk about how magicians mark cards, and you can see them like this. So it's a really nice organic sort of routine, and people are interested in it. And then they can see their signature visually appear on top of the deck, so they see their card visually rise to the top. You can do like UV night shades with, you know, you can draw shades on a bill and have them vanish and appear in other places. You can do a bunch of visual stuff like that. The beauty is it's held by the spectator, and they see it visually happen in slow motion, and it's all there. And the one thing you'll hear in the trailer, and you'll get when you perform this, is that people equate this with witchcraft, because it's so, you know, when you do a really good trick, people start saying it's witchcraft. I never expected that to come from this, but people really believe this is happening, which is a very crazy thing for me. So it's very real. So that's what one half of the magic you can do. The other half of it is mentalism. So you can have you can put UV crosses on the back of every single card in the deck, but because there's an alternating mode, which means every time it turns on or off and then back on, it'll show UV light or the UV frequency, or it won't. So it'll just show a blue light, or it'll show a UV blue light. Meaning, for example, you can use a deck all night. You can't see the UV cross on the back of the deck, and then they can name any card. They can take it out the deck. It's be your working deck, and then you can say to them, "Hey, turn it on and shine it on put that card, face up on the table or whatever. Shine it on every other card in the deck. They're all blank, and now shine it on yours, and it's the only one with a cross on it, and it's the invisible deck on steroids. You can do things like lottery predictions. So you can have them shine a light on a lottery stub, the ones you mark to choose your numbers, and there's nothing on there. They can hold this the entire time. You don't do anything. It's actually self-working, most of this stuff. In fact, almost all these effects are self-working. They mark randomly on the piece of paper. They shine the light back on it to see which ones they've chosen, and you have a printed lottery ticket that matches exactly. You can do things like book tests with it, and so certain words are circled, but in reality they're circled on every page, and a bunch of different things like that. So that's the basics of it, and it sits on your keychain like that, imperceptible and in full view. Everything can be handled by the spectator. There's nothing defined.
Any UV pen will work, right? Because the UV pen that you get with it is great, but I've seen UV pens that are like keychains.
Yeah, you can get UV pens on keychains. You can get
have
ones.
Yeah,
the one that we've specifically made for this, and we prove we make it because I put my fucking signature on there egotistically. Has it's it's friendly to skin. So there's a certain chemical, and off the top, it's like a xylate something it begins with. I need to refresh my memory. Certain chemical that can be xylol, can in some instances irritate certain people's skin, and that's in pens like this. So we provide ink that doesn't have that in it.
That's great.
But you can use any UV, and you can actually, yeah, once you can use so many effects with like banknight routines, and you can borrow someone's bill and show that it says fake or not. Yeah,
anything that you can write on with a UV pen, you can come up with a routine for it.
Or stencils and spray paint. If you go and pick up some UV spray paint, you can make some crazy reveals or vanishes. And one of the strongest things that you'll see in the trailer is just doing mentalism reveals with it, just having words that are thought of visually appear. Like, because there's something about UV which is kind of magic anyway. People just sort of love it. Like I think it's a really underappreciated element that you can add to your magic, regardless of using Lux. But when people see like Edwin Todd, who really kindly went out and performed in the trailer, he would get some information peaked, and then under the guise of another effect, would write it on his arm with a UV pen. Of course, the beauty of this is it can stay out in full view. The same with the double cross effect is if you choose to go off and like get the cross put on people without, because we don't supply a stamp because that's not our trick to do. But if there's a million ways of doing it, if you stamp people with a cross, you can actually stamp like an entire room of people. And the beauty of it is that it can be done hours before, and they don't know because they haven't got the light on them, which makes for really fucking powerful moments of magic. But with the word reveal, so he writes the word on his arm as other effects are happening. Now they shine a light and they see their thought of word visually appear in this, like, which sort of it's kind of like magic anyway, UV, like inherently magic. And then you see, I mean, the reactions speak for themselves. People are just gobsmacked.
The double cross routine, or the routine where the X jumps from their hand onto your hand or whatever, that's, for me, double cross has had its day. I mean, it's good. It's had a good innings, but this is so much better. This is so much better. It really is. I mean, it's just when they see that it visually just vanishes, it's just so good, Lloyd.
Thank you so much. And I was talking to it. This was the one thing that we were talking about. A certain magician off television was trying to acquire the rights to this for like crazy amounts of cash, because they say this is the next iteration of double cross, and no disservice to double cross. I just think double cross is so good, so big, that it's been performed thousands of times. People are just looking for the next version of it. The beauty of this is that it's so easy. It's self-working. Yeah. If they do the basic performance, which is the way I do it, it's like I discovered about this is that people don't care at all that it ends on your hand, which I thought when I went out and started testing it, I thought, people would be a bit like, well, it ends on the magician's hand. But it's all about that. It's all about that for them. They take the pen, they draw the cross, and they make it vanish themselves, and they point it at you. They're holding the pen light anyway. They don't care that it ends you. It's all about, which means that now you can perform the most visual double cross of all time. And I feel like arrogant saying that, but I can't think of a more visual version of this ever. Slow motion, they see the cross vanish, and it's self-working.
It's brilliant.
And self-working.
It's a cliche when you say the opportunities are only limited by your imagination, but in this case, the opportunities and the ideas that you can come up with this really are only limited by your imagination. Like, one thing that I've been doing with it is I have 4 business cards that have got blank backs. And on one of them, I drew 4 crosses, and on the other 3, I drew single crosses. So I give them the flashlight, they shine it, and I say I've drawn UV crosses on each one. Wow. I do an hourly count, so they can see 4 cards that have apparently got X's on each one. I just put them on the table, or even get people to hold their hands out, and I give each one.
I didn't know you did this.
Thing. Yeah, so I give each person a business card. And then I just have them shine the light, and I say, you can see the crosses on this one. We'll start with this one. It vanishes. Then you go to the next one, and they see it vanish. They go to the next one, they see it vanish. So they've seen the 3 crosses go off the cards. And then at the end, they shine it on that one, and all 4 crosses are there. And I give them that one with all 4 crosses on. And if they take it home and they look at it with a UV flashlight, they're just going to see the 4 crosses there.
Wow.
And it's like Matrix.
Whoa. I didn't know you did that.
With ink. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can all be done in their hands as well. Fuck, that's good. I don't fucking swear. Sorry.
Of course you can. It's my channel.
But that's literally every single day I'm discovering new effects that can be done with this.
How many routines are on the tutorial, Lloyd?
We only put like about.
Javier did the tutorial, didn't he?
I shot the intro and the outro and things. And then, because what I found is that my accent can be confusing for some people because I'm Welsh, and Javier has a very clear thing. So we had Javier going, but I obviously give him the notes. So we've got on the tutorial, I got it Deluxe Cross, the Ambitious card ending, which, man.
Oh, that's killer. That is so
Invisible
killer.
Deck, Word Force and Reveals, Bank Night Routines, the Lottery Prediction, UV Nightshades, additional ideas from Hav, and then additional ideas from me as well.
Killer.
Yeah. So what I love about the Ambitious card, that's when I really fell in love deeply with this effect was you say it makes for such a believable routine. You can say, you know, when magicians can do a couple of things, blah, 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 they'll have you sign cards on the face, which is all well and good. But that doesn't help them track your card if they're trying to do sneaky things. What magicians can sometimes use is they mark cards in secret ways, and they use UV ink. And so what you do is take your card with your name on it and sign your name on the back of this. Now, I can see that ink, but you can't. But you can do it when you shine the light, and they can see it. And you say, right, and they say, look, just place it down into the deck, and now you can see it's not on top. And if you shine the light, you can see it's not on top. Right, so now you know your card is genuinely lost in the deck because you've got a signature on the front and the back. It's marked in UV, but watch, shine that light, and you'll see it visually rise, and just slowly rises to the top visually. And it's there. They can just take the card then. I mean, like,
that's so fucking good.
It destroys people. Like, it absolutely wipes people out.
So good. That's so good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I'm talking too much about it. I really.
Oh, well, man, it's a review show special on Lux. I know you don't like to blow your own trumpet, but like, if there's ever a chance to blow your own trumpet, it's right now. But I'm going to ask you a couple of real talk questions.
Okay, cool.
Are the effects affected by performing outside in bright lights? So
you don't want to do it in direct sunlight, but the reason this project was delayed for so long, an extra 6 months, is because it had to be brighter. The original versions weren't bright enough to do it outdoors. So this is performable outdoors. The only thing I say is just don't stand with the sun pointing straight on like your skin. Just turn, like wherever the sun is, just turn and create a shadow. And it's strong enough to do outdoors. Just you do need to just try and make some sort of just a small amount of shade. But yeah, a big reason this project was held up for so long was just to try and put more power into it and make it stronger.
That's good. Next question: is it easy to replace batteries, or do you have to buy a new one when you? Oh
well, yeah. I mean, so you buy a new battery. They're mega cheap. They're just little tiny. I can show them actually. They're little tiny watch batteries. I've got here. So you just take them out. Oh, this is a brand new unit, so I've got to move this thing. I think I've got some up here. They are these watch batteries. I can find them. In here. These ones.
Yeah. See it.
See them?
Yeah.
They're called. Yeah, they're called. I can't read. LR41s. They're like $1 for 4, and you put 4 in, so you buy a little pack before they go in. It's designed to last 6 months worth of performing.
Wow.
So the first time you get it, you'll you'll go through them, but it comes with batteries in already, ready to go. So you'll probably use them up in quicker than normal when you first get it, because you're going to be playing with it 1,000 different ways, and then they'll last you 6 months. Once you actually start going out there and performing it, it'll last you 6 months. But I just bought.
I love the fact that you just hang it on your keys and you're good to go. I just love.
Yeah, and what I do, my keys are downstairs, but I actually chose to remove these links on mine, so it's shorter, so that way it stops it rattling too much around. So it's just a little bit like that. I just personal choice, but yeah, and that's the thing. This just lives on my keys. It's crazy.
It's the perfect everyday carry. It's the perfect everyday carry. Like, it genuinely is. I know we're friends, but I'm being completely unbiased here. This is absolutely genius. And to be honest, I really wish you'd waited until 2023 to bring it out, because now the quantum deck has no chance of being trick of the year. Like, this is just amazing. Everybody is going to do it. What's nice is it's not a card trick, it's not a coin trick, but you can do card tricks with it, you can do coin tricks with it. It's just, you can do everything with it and then some. Mentalism, magic, just, it's very rare that you find something that's this versatile in terms of what you can do.
I find what blows me away is that it's not like, it's the versatility of it, the deception of it as well, because like these UV things can like exist on arms and skin or whatever before you begin for hours, no one knows. But the big thing for me is that it can all be done in the spectator's hands. So you can literally perform this. Well, anyone can perform. Anyone in the world can perform this. Anyone in the world can perform this. And that was such an important point for me, is because it's self-working. They hold the light, they draw the things, and they appear.
So good. That's just so good. Is there anything that it won't work on? Is there a surface that it won't work? We've talked about business cards. We talked about playing cards.
Not really, no.
Skin. Like nothing. Like, will it work on like tables, like wooden tables and stuff like that? So if I had a residency in a restaurant, I could use this as a multiple out thing. So I could like have like every single court card written, Queen of Clubs, nobody will see it. And I just need to memorize where it is on the table, and they can say that there's nothing written on it. And then all
literally, yeah. Sometimes you have to test whether, sometimes like certain surfaces, you may see a bit of like ghosting from the UV. What I've noticed is though, like if a tabletop is great, but they're not looking for it. They're not looking for it. So when you shine the light, that clouds it anyway. If it's slightly visible on certain, and it's more like a plain black surface is kind of gonna show it up beforehand, but they're not looking for it. You need to remember that any surface that has like skin, thankfully, is the best surface, which is great. But yeah, anything with a bit of design or change of color, like it can work on everything. It's crazy.
It's amazing. That's amazing. And what's the price of it? Remind me the price.
I don't know. Let me refresh one.
I
actually don't know.
There's a way of finding out live right here. I mean, obviously, this is going out a couple of days after the official launch, so everyone's going to know. But
I know. This is the thing. That's the one part of. Let me go through and find.
I can't believe that we don't know the price of this. This is being filmed before it's officially been bought out, guys, just so you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what it is. $75.
$75. That's a good price. I mean, I know what's going on under the hood with this thing and how you've managed to keep it that cheap. Because normally when you think electronics, you're thinking $200, $300, something like that. $75? That's very reasonable.
Yeah, there's the for me, it's super important. So I wanted to be certain with the price. I thought it was a little bit different. So for me, it was really important. As for all my magic, like with Cognito, I always think it's so important to make it accessible to people. So I think, without being egotistical, I think this could have been sold for more.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've said from the beginning to the team is that this should be, like, you shouldn't price people that want it out. So there's people out. So like with Cognito, we made it like half the price at least of any other app out there. That's a solid app, and for it to be the best selling one of the year. And the same with this. I want people using it.
Yeah.
And I think people want to use it, and to say, and like it's horrible when you see a product come out that you just can't afford.
No. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than that, I think, when you really want something, you would just like blow people away and you can't afford it. So yeah, we just don't want to be greedy. We just want to make sure everyone can get one, apart from the stock amount. Yeah.
Murphy's
we're restocking as fast as we can, literally.
Yeah. So I know that you guys are working around the clock to try and make sure it's in stock. That's great.
Yeah, I think we got another 5,000 units coming in. It's a couple of weeks, month.
Oh, okay.
Fingers crossed.
Lloyd, congratulations. One last question before I leave, because I know you're really busy. Have you peaked now? Is this it? Is your career?
Definitely, yeah. Yes.
Have we reached a peak? Like,
I'm glad to stop talking about myself. That's all I've done all week is talk about myself. I want to go back to promoting more Craig Petty stuff. That's more fun. It's more drama. Yeah,
way more drama. Way more drama.
I'm gonna vanish off into the ether now, like Wayne Houchin. But
yeah, and then you'll just come back a few months later with another killer release. I know other stuff that you've got on the, you've got coming out, and it's incredible. It really is, man. Congratulations on all your success. I know you find it hard to be complimented, but
thank you so much for having me on the show, man.
You're more than welcome.
I love you, dude.
We love you too, bro. Look, I'm going to head back into the studio now and give it a full review. Spoiler, it's fucking amazing. But we're going to go back. We're going to go back and look at this now. Lloyd, congratulations. See you soon, my friend.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So there you go. First of all, thank you very much to Lloyd Barnes for doing that interview for me. I really appreciate it. And as I said, it's very difficult to not be biased with Lloyd. But I will tell you the truth. If Lloyd bought something else and I thought it sucked, I would tell everyone it sucked. And I'm sure Lloyd would be happy with me doing that. I mean, he was involved in the trick that came out recently by Jimmy Strange. I can't remember what it was. It was a celebrity blister thing on your car. I can't remember what it was called, but I ripped into that. Even though he's on the trailer and he created the trailer, I ripped into that and did an honest trailer on it. So for anybody in doubt as to whether I would take a Lloyd Barnes product and rip it apart, I absolutely would. However, having said that, I love this. I've been aware of this for months and months and months, probably a year. Lloyd gave me mine at Blackpool, so I have had this for now, at time of filming, it's halfway through April. I've had this now for probably 2.5 months, which means that I've had a lot of time to work it. I know exactly what this is. I've done it at gigs. I know how it plays. This review is not coming from the point of view of somebody who has opened up a box and looked at it and gone, yeah, this looks like it could work, hypothetically, realistically. This review comes from somebody who has been working this for the last 2.5 months, from when Lloyd handed me this at Blackpool on the first day there. So what it is this is Lux. This is what you get. You get this and you get this. First of all, you get a really nice UV ink pen, and made by the Barnes Ink Company. Love that. And then secondly, you get this. This is the real meat and bones behind Lux. What it is it's a little UV torch, right? That's what it is. It's a little UV torch. And what this UV torch allows you to do, it allows you to make UV ink appear and disappear at will. So you can literally make UV ink appear and disappear at will. And I'm going to be very open and tell you exactly what this is. So it looks just like a normal little torch, right, that hangs on your keychain. But it's capable of so much more. And literally, there's only one button on this thing, which is this button right here. One feature that I'll mention right at the very beginning, which is really cool, is this thing powers off after 90 seconds. So if this just remains dormant for 90 seconds, it will switch itself off. So pressing that button will not switch it back on again. But if I just hold down that button like that, and I just hold it down for a couple of seconds, boom, now it's activated. Now I can use it again, right? Okay. So there's 6 different settings on this, and you can switch between the settings very, very easily. What you have inside this thing is the ability to switch between a UV bulb and another bulb that looks like a UV bulb, but it's not. And so using that ability, you can very, very easily switch. You can cause ink, UV ink, to appear and disappear at will. And there's lots of different ways that this can be done. And the beautiful thing is it can be done by the spectator. So you can hand them this and they can do it. Now, the most popular, and I'm going to put it onto that setting now. There we go. That's how easy it is. I'm changing in between the settings right now, which is just beautiful. There we go. So the most popular setting with this is the setting that allows you, it's called looping. What it allows you to do is loop in between the 2 bulbs, and there's like an 8 or a 9 second timer in between them. So you can literally shine this on something that you've written with UV ink. They can see it. You can actually give it them. So they can take it, they can switch it on, they can shine it, they can see that thing that you've written in UV, and they can shine it on there, and they will see it vanish, because over the course of 8 seconds, it will switch to the other bulb, at which point it will vanish, and then it's on a loop. So then 8 seconds later, it'll switch back to the other bulb, and then 8 seconds later, it'll switch back to the other bulb. So it allows you to make ink appear and disappear at will. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. So one way that you can, and this is the one that I think everyone's going to be using. This is Lloyd's version of double cross, which is just superb. This is just absolutely ridiculous. It's the idea of having a UV pen, drawing an X on somebody's hand in UV, saying that this is a UV torch, this is how you would see the UV ink, give them the torch, get them to shine it, they can see it, and then they will see it vanish off their hand, and then you get them, you're not touching anything, you get them to shine it onto your hand, and as you do, the X appears on your hand, and then if you want to, you can have it disappear off your hand and appear back on their hand. That's basically the routine. Imagine doing double cross, but without having to carry around a gimmicked pen with you, without having to, secretly do a move to put the X, whatever. You don't have to do any of that. You literally just do the routine. Now, I perform this on Ryland. Ryland has never seen this before. I purposefully have never shown him this because I wanted to show it him for the first time on camera. And don't forget, Ryland's got a lot of magical knowledge. There's not many people that sees as much new magic as Ryland. We review 4 new tricks a week on top of what we review on other stuff as well. Plus he's constantly practicing and creating other material and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make is Ryland knows a lot about magic, right? And I wanted to perform this on him for the first time so you could get his reaction on camera. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. I really don't. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up at all. Hopefully it'll show up really well, but I'm in a really well-lit studio. He will see it fine. I've just filmed the footage with him. He saw it fine. It's absolutely not a problem. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. So I'm gonna perform this for Ryland. Have a look at the performance footage. This is kind of the double cross routine, the deluxe cross. Have a look at this. Now, Ryland, you have genuinely never seen this before, have you? No. Like, I wanted to make sure that you never saw this before I filmed you, because I want to get your reaction to this. All right, I want to get your reaction to this. So this is a UV light. Do you know what a UV light is? No. UV stands for ultraviolet. Okay?
I've heard
and
that
it's
before.
Yeah, and it's basically, it looks like a purple light or whatever, but it's actually very special because this is a UV pen, right? And it's got UV ink in it. It's like invisible ink. You used to remember when you had that spy party when you were younger?
Yeah.
And you actually had one of these, didn't you, Sarah, when he was a spy pen?
He did. He's still got some.
Yeah, you had one of these. Do you remember you had a spy pen and it had, on one end, it had like a little light that you could shine, and on the other end it was, that's basically what UV ink is. UV ink is ink that you write with it, and you can't see it until you shine a special light on it, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a magic trick
No,
right
I'm going
now.
to draw on the table, are you?
No, I'm going to draw on your hand. Give me your hand.
What?
Right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this UV pen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to draw an X on the back of your hand.
This doesn't feel good. This is bad.
Now, you can't see that, can you?
No, I blatantly can't see that.
Now, take your other hand and you press the button to switch it on. I want you to shine the light at the X. Can you see it? Okay, you've got to keep it on. Hold on to it. Hold it. There you go. And just shine it there. And keep it in view. I want you to concentrate. We're going to try and make that X disappear. Concentrate. I want you to imagine that X is disappearing. Look, the UV, the X is gone. But that's not even weirder. Look, shine it on my hand. Shine it on my hand. Look right there. Shine it on my hand. I want you to concentrate. I want you to concentrate because you're not going to believe this. Watch. Look at this. Look at that. It's now reappeared.
What?
But here's, look, we're going to try and make it go back. Watch. We're going to make it go back. Look, watch. Hold it. Keep holding it. Shine it. Make sure that you're shining it right down the X and concentrate. Look, it's gone. Do you see it's gone?
Yeah.
We're going to try and make it go back onto your hand. Shine it there. It's not there yet, is it?
Mm.
It's shine it. Concentrate. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And there it is, back on your hand. Dude, you've never seen that before. What do you think of that?
That is cool.
How cool is that?
That's amazing.
Isn't that epic?
That's cool.
Okay, so Ryland freaked out on that. He had no idea how it worked. I asked him afterwards off camera, how do you think it worked? And he was like, oh, was it the angle I was holding the key, the torch? Was it something like that? Nothing to do with that, mate. Absolutely nothing to do with that. It's absolutely killer. It really is. It's such a beautiful concept. Now, as I said, you can literally hold down a button so I can switch between things. So I'm going to switch to a different view here. There we go. That is how easy it is to switch between views. So now I've set, there's 6 different ways of using it. The one I just used in that routine is looper. That's when it loops on an 8-second loop. You have the ability to just do a vanish in the spectator's hands. So you literally just give them the thing and it'll just vanish. And once it's vanished, it'll stay vanished. You get them to, you can do an appearance where they're holding onto it and it'll just appear. And once it's appeared, it'll stay appeared. You have the ability to control when the vanish happens, control when it appears. One of my favorites is this display here where you press it and it activates one bulb and then you press it again and it activates another bulb. Why is that useful? Well, one thing that Lloyd does with this, which is ridiculous, is like an impromptu invisible deck. So what he does is he takes a deck of 52 cards and he just takes his UV marker pen and he draws a big X on every single card. Now he can use that deck in any routine he wants to. He can have the card signed, he can have the card, whatever you want to do, you can have the cards mixed up, anything, right? You can do absolutely anything with it. But when you want to go into this routine, you can say to them, this is a UV pen. I haven't told you this, but I've actually written one of these cards. I'll put a big X just on one of them. I'm not going to tell you which one. I'd like you to name a card. Which card would you like me to name? They name the card and you put it to one side. You then give them the UV pen. They switch it on and you tell them to check the faces of every single card. Are there any UV marks in any of those cards? No. Do you see a UV mark there? No. How about a UV mark there? There. No. No. And then you just switch it off and you say, but you picked one card. That card right there. That card's been there the whole time. Do me a favor, switch it on. Now when they switch it on, you get the different bulb. So now when they shine it at that card, it's going to have a big cross on it. And it's the only card that's got a UV cross on it. And it, you know, a shuffled deck, a regular shuffled deck of cards, you can do that routine if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, and it doesn't interfere with anything else that you're doing. It doesn't even need to be a full deck. This is what I mean by this. This is a utility device. This is not a trick. This is not a prop. This is a utility device that will allow you to do so much. I mentioned in the interview that I did with Lloyd, I've been doing this with business cards to make little X's jump from one business card onto another and just have like the 4 X's jump to join the to all go on. Basically matrix with business cards and X's. And I've been doing that and I've been having 4 people hold their hands out and I've been putting the cards onto their hands and getting them to make the X's jump across. It's killer. Like Lloyd said, you can do it for mentalism reveals. You can use it for multiple outs. You can do it for anything that you want to. Imagine having a set of ESP symbols and, you know, they pick one and the one that they pick is the only one that you've marked on the back with UV ink. I mean, the options here are completely and totally limitless. You can use it for playing cards. You can use it for absolutely anything that you want to. The thing that Lloyd was talking about earlier with the ambitious card looks incredible. Genuinely, I can't see why anybody who does the ambitious card in the real world won't use this as a finale to that routine, because you can have this set up on appearance mode. So again, what you do to create appearance mode, let me show you how you can do it in the middle of your performance. There you go. I've got appearance mode. It's done. Now this is appearance mode. So what appearance mode is you can give it to the spectator, they can switch it on, they can shine it somewhere, and within 8 seconds, it will just appear. So you can do your full ambitious card routine. You can sign the back of the card with UV ink. You can then show that it's not on top of the deck. It's lost in the deck, right? And then all you have to do is just have them shine it right there on top of the deck. And as they do, they will see that UV signature just show up right there on the back of the card, and they can turn the card over and it's their card. I did that for Ryland as well, and that freaked him out. He has no idea how this works. He just desperately wants one, but he has no idea how it works. I'm going to show you that as well. So let's have a look at that. I will show you the Ambitious card. Let's have a look at that. Okay, right, we're going to do something with a deck of cards. Take one out, you're going to write your name on it, so maybe one with a bit of white space. You take out an ace. I promise you, I will...
You said white space.
Why do you always ruin the... No, fine. Sign your name on the face. I hate you, by the way. Are we done?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to show you a trick that I invented. It's a new concept. You've probably never seen this before. I've decided to call it Ambitious card because the card comes to the top of the deck. It's a trick that only I do.
No,
the idea is that you take a card and you have it signed and you put it down in the middle, and it goes down in the middle, and then you just square up the sides and you wait a second, and the card comes straight to the top, and then you take the ace and you put it down in the middle, and you leave it in there and you wait a second, and it comes to the top of the pack. What do you reckon to my brand new concept in Magic? You know?
No, that's not a new concept.
It is a new concept. It's a brand new concept.
It's been around for years and years.
Right, fine. Well, we're going to make it a little bit more impressive. I'm going to take your signed card. Can you do me a favour? Can you write your name with UV ink in the middle, big letters, right there on the back of the card? Okay, put a lid on. Fantastic. Now, obviously, if we switch this thing on, let me just, there we go. There we go. If we switch this thing on, there we go. You can see your name there, Ryland. Can you see it?
Yeah.
You see it, yeah?
I don't know if the camera can see that, but
I don't know if the camera can. You confirm that you can see it, yeah? Is that fair?
Yeah.
I'm going to pop it down in the middle, so it's about halfway down.
You created that move.
Now watch. You ready?
Yeah.
Watch here, because you'll see the second it comes to the top of the pack. Watch.
Oh, I can see it. I can see it.
Look at that.
I can see that.
And not only that, it's come to the top, and you can turn it over.
What?
That is your card. How cool is that?
That is weird.
Isn't that wicked? Souvenir. There you go. Ooh. Look, I'm fully aware that there's going to be people that are watching this review and go, hang on a minute, Craig, this is less of a review and it's more of a sales pitch for Lloyd's product. You're best friends with Lloyd, you do the podcast together, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to think that, that's fine. But I'd like to believe that I have spent the last 2 years on this channel building up enough goodwill to know, for you guys to know that if I promote a product and I say a product's good, then it really is good. You know, I've lost friends and I've annoyed people who I've massively respected for giving my opinion on stuff on this channel over the previous weeks, months and years. And I have no problem smashing tricks to bits, ripping tricks up. I've got no problem crapping on Murphy's Magic if they bring something out that's not very good. No problem at all. This is brilliant. This is one of the best tricks that I have ever seen. This, in my opinion, is the trick of the decade. You talk about everyday carry. This is an everyday carry and then some. This goes, I'll tell you exactly where I have this. I have it on my Keymaster set. So I have Keymaster. This is what I take to a gig now. I have Keymaster and I have this on the same key fob as Keymaster, and I am ready to go. And every day I'm coming up with new routines for this. If you like everyday carry, this is it. This is the pen that comes with it, which is a really good pen. You can on Amazon get UV pens that are smaller, right? They're smaller and they're designed to fit on a keychain, a little bit like the mini Sharpies. So you can actually have a mini pen on there, and this becomes a full everyday carry that you can do anytime, anywhere. Talk about amazing. Talk about amazing. And it also transcends. It's weird to see a prop that works as a magic trick. And there are moments that you can do with this that are so magical, like the card coming up to the top of the deck, like the X vanishing off somebody's hand. But you can also, with the same prop, if you're a mentalist, you can do incredibly cool mentalism routines. You can have bills, and you can say, hey, I've got 5 bills here. I've marked one with UV ink. If you get the one with the UV ink, I've wrote my signature on the back of one of them, then you get to keep it, and you can do a bank night with bills just out of your wallet. You can do stuff with receipts. You can do stuff with lottery tickets. You can do stuff on people's skin. Honestly, the reveals that you can do. Lloyd's got, I don't want to tip it, but Lloyd's got an incredible and absolutely incredible book test on there that's just killer. Man, it is killer. The mentalism applications for this are brilliant. The magical applications for this are brilliant. The ability to have it with you and switch between magic and mentalism is awesome. And I haven't even touched on the tutorial where you've got Lloyd on there for sure, but then you've got Javier. I mean, Javier is brilliant. If you don't know Javier Fuenmia, he is just one of the nicest guys in Magic, and him and Nick Lacoppa, in my opinion, they're vying for top spot when it comes to presenter of the year in this year's Magic TV Awards. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, Nick won it. Last year, Javier won it. Let's see who wins it this year coming. But Javier does a great job and explains everything very clearly. And I love the fact that even though there was a lot of hype attached to this and a lot of people didn't like the hype, I like the fact that they have been so honest in the trailer and they've been so honest about what this is. And the reason that they can afford to be so honest about what this is because the method is as cool as the effects. When you realize how this works, and it's obviously been built for a worker. I mean, look at the size of it. It's so small. You just have it sitting on your keychain. You're ready to go anytime, anywhere. It powers down after 90 seconds. The batteries are going to last for ages. You've got multiple different ways of using it. You switch between them with one button. It doesn't look like there's not a remote control. It's not like you've got a separate remote control that's accessing this. Everything is done from inside this. It is completely self-contained. It is totally and utterly genius, and I wish he hadn't released it this year, because I thought maybe I would in with a chance of winning Trick of the Year with Quantum. But you know what? Lloyd's just taken that and thrown it up in the air and blown smoke up it, because this is it. Every single person. I remember when Double Cross came out and everyone had one. At least over here in the UK, everyone had a double cross. Everyone was doing a double cross. Dynamo, everybody. And then Omnideck, everybody was doing an Omnideck. There's certain tricks that come out that everybody does. It transcends whether you're a pro, you're a hobbyist, you're an amateur, you're a professional. It transcends everything. Everyone's going to want to do this. Everyone's going to want to carry one of these around with them. I cannot imagine why anybody would find a way to say something negative about this. I know it's going to happen because it's the magic industry, but I can't imagine why. It's very reasonably priced. He could have got away with charging a lot more for this. It's really well made. It's got so many different applications. There's going to be a lot more you can do with it. It's very user-friendly. It can create some incredibly visual moments. I mean, what's not to love about this? It's brilliant. And it's just this. You throw it into your pocket and you are ready to go anytime, anywhere with an absolute miracle. This gets 200% in my opinion. This is amazing. I know that stock is limited when it first comes out. I know stock is limited. I don't know how. I know that they've got more stock on the way, but it's going to be about a month's time. My opinion, beg, borrow, steal. Do whatever you can do to get one of these, because this is going to be very heavily in demand. This is incredible. I love it. Like I said, Lloyd's one of my best friends in the whole world. But I hope over the last 10 years, good God, 10 years, over the last 2 years on Magic TV, I've built up enough goodwill for you guys to know that I'm not going to steer you wrong. This is a real worker and I absolutely love it. This is now part of my #1 set. This is part of my everyday carry, and I will be doing a Hows and Whys of Lux at some point in the future, because frankly, despite how good the tutorial is, it's literally just the tip of the iceberg. So there you go, guys. That is another review show special in the bag. I hope you enjoyed this week's. Thank you very much for joining me right here on Magic TV. Buy this, buy this, buy this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you've got any questions, please hit me up and I'll try and answer them. Don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with 3 videos. I'm going to be here with 5 o'clock. No, I'm not. 9 o'clock with a 5x5, 6 o'clock with a Magic Live, and at 2 o'clock with a shorts. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget the NETRIX is now live. Lloyd is one of the instructors on the NETRIX. So go to www.thenetrix.com and you can get access to all of that information. You can sign up for a month and see what you think. I'll be back again tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of the weekend. My name's Craig from Magic TV.